Hi there, Intune friends. So this is in the series of creating Oracle Java to load in web browser. So if I repeat all the previous lessons you should have went through, we've started to create IE mode. So when we go to Java test page or any URL we want, it starts in IE mode, Internet Explorer. Why? Because that can load Oracle Java. We then installed Oracle Java. We then created the exception sites. We created exception site list in the video. Then we created the rule set to allow this one to run without the pop-up. And we also looked how we could create more settings if we wanted. Perfect, we have all the settings. Now we want to deploy this. I will explain every step, but I'm not going to write every step. I'm going to copy and paste. And you can do the same because it's going to be in the description of this video. So we want to create the Win32 app in Intune. So how do we do that? Well, this usually I don't package on this machine, but since we have all the files that we need, I'm going to do it on this one. So I start totally from zero. So I'll go to the root of this device, C, and I'm going to create, well, I can do Shift Control N. I call it Intune Packages. Probably just going to be one. So this is my root. Then I do Control Shift N again. What we're going to call this, so this is going to be Oracle. That's the manufacturer. The software is Java. The version is 8. And then it's always going to be the latest. So I actually put the latest. And then this version I packed the 32-bit. So that's the folder. You have followed my packing video series. You know that I create a template and then I add one folder called output, then one folder called source. And it is actually the source where we put all the installation command. We're gonna need an icon if we want to put it in the company portal or just for Intune, and we're gonna need the Intune tool who create the Intune Win file. So let's start by that. Win32 app. Do we have it? Packaging tool. See if we get there. That looks good. It's gonna go to the prep tool, GitHub. And this is the file that we want. Yes, I'm going to download this one. So InTune Winup util, this is the file who going to create our source folder into format that Intune can read. And I'll copy here. I see it started to be a bit dirty in my download folder. I generally don't like that. Have I lost where nope. So we can copy this file here. So this, we're going to run Intune Winup util to create the Intune Win file to the output folder. I just want to go and clean everything actually. Control A, Shift Delete. Side note, we said we wanted the icon also, so we can see if we can find an Oracle Java 8 icon PNG. It's nice. I like this one. Yeah, I like this one a lot. It's not that important. It looks to be a PNG. We save the picture as. It's not a requirement to have this image, of course. So we go to I said Intune packages. Our root folder is this Oracle Java. And here I'm going to call this prefix logo Java. Why not? PNG. Okay, great. So if we go back to our package, now we have source. Here is where we're going to install. And I have already prepared the text that we're going to use for the installation. I have that in Notepad++ in this tab here. But I'm going to go through every single step in it. So I do a Control A, Control C. Let's go to PowerShell winget.exe and start that as an administrator, because it is a PowerShell script, and ISE give you this nice view. Maybe it doesn't look exactly like this for you. Maybe it looks like this. Then you can just click down here and you get this white area. I'm going to put myself here, and you find this script in the description of this video. I paste it here, and we're going to go through every line, so don't worry. I'm going to save it first though, and we're going to save this in the source folder. Oh, here I have a shortcut to it, a source, and it's a PowerShell, so it's end with PS1. That's fine. We can call it install-Oracle Java 8 latest. I think it's spelled like that. AX86, because it is 32-bit. Perfect. So here is the line. Let me zoom in a bit. Not too much, so we see all. Okay, this should be good. These hashes are just comments, so you can put anything. It's for you or your future self. Then add a variable. The variable just means that wherever in the code we put this $JBNWingetAppID, it will replace with this. So it's basically you just need to put it in one place. Then the scriptRoot, this one is very important. So $scriptRoot, it's going to say that wherever this script is run from, put that as a path. So basically, usually how I explain that in my videos is that if I put another file here, we're not going to use this file, but just for fun, let's say copy this file. As when we run the scriptRoot, it's going to find where this file is, install Oracle. Right now it's in this folder, but maybe when we deploy it in Intune, it's going to be in the cache folder, IME or alike. Then it's going to know the path to this one, and relative, since it's know it's in the same folder as this one, they will find each other. I didn't explain that so good. Let me give me a second try here. So this scriptRoot, look where this script is located. Install Oracle Java 8 latest x86 PS, and then save that. So wherever it is, if I copy this file to C:\/GBN, it's going to take that. And since this file is in the same folder, it's going to, the scriptRoot going to go to where this one is. And since this one is in the same folder, it's going to find this also. I delete this file because we're not going to use that. I just use that to help. So the scriptRoot, just find the location wherever you copy it, because we don't know which folder it's going to be when it runs. But as long as all the files are related to each other. Then I'm going to use winget. We could use MSI also. And actually, I'm going to add in that here if someone is interested. So there are two ways, like we did in the install Java video. Either you use these two lines, or I'm going to add another way also to install it. So I explained the winget first. So winget, you can run this command, and we did that in the video. The problem is in Intune, it runs as system, and system can't find winget. So that's the only reason why we have this line. I'll put that to help system to find the winget.Path. So this line is only for system. I have a video about that as well. And then winget is the command line. We tell it to install. What to install? Well, the ID. Which ID? Well, it's this variable, Oracle Java Runtime. Architecture, we want it 32 bits. We want it silent. And accept all the agreements. That's all it does. So that's actually installed. I'm going to add in comments what we would have done if we installed the MSI. So I put the comment here. If you want to install with MSI and not use winget, then we would actually run start process. So now I am typing a bit of code. Start process, and then what do we start? We start MSI exec, and then we can do arguments all the rest. And what will it be? Well, didn't we save in one of our videos we did. In one of the previous, the second video where we installed Java, we actually kept the MSI. So what we do, and if you use only winget, which I prefer, you don't have to do this. We copy the MSI into our package source. So here is our package source. Only needed if you do this second winget, you don't need this. I think you have winget it by now. And argument list. So we do /install this file. How can we find this file? Well, again, we will use scriptRoot. So we copy scriptRoot. We put scriptRoot /. And I don't know if you remember in this video, we did a QN for quiet. Then we did no restart. And we also added a log file. I will skip the log file for now. This looks pretty good. This should work. So I will actually not use this one, but I'm just showing the way that you could do. So I'm actually commenting this out because I prefer to use winget. But if you wanted to use the MSI file instead, you need that in your package. And then you should comment out these two rows because they are only needed for the winget. But I want to use the winget, so I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to comment out this one. Okay, so when we have come here, we have actually installed Java. And we're going to run this script after, which means we have to uninstall the Java's already installed. So next lines, we're going to create a few folders. Did you remember in one of the previous video, we created the Sun folder under Windows. And under Sun, we created a Java folder, and under Java, a deployment, and then we created the security where our exception site list will be. So basically what this just says is if this folder doesn't exist, why not doesn't? Because this exclamation mark does this negative. So it says if this doesn't exist, do what's is between these two curly brackets. A new item creates something new. What type is a directory, and what's the path? Sun. Then it continued the same logic. Does so these are together. Oh, sorry. These are together. Does Sun Java exist? If it doesn't, create it. Does Sun Java deployment exist? If not, create it. So this is just creating these folders. And they're going to be empty, of course, but we're going to change that. So the same here, copy item. So again, scriptRoot, it's the same location where this file is. Copy this file, which we don't have copied yet to our source, so we have to do that. And copy that to where? The deployment. We also copy deployment properties and also exception sites. But remember, that goes to a folder below, security. And then we have the deployment ruleset.jar, the file that we created. So before we continue the script, well, we have only one line left. Let's copy these 4 files into scriptRoot. And we know a bit where these files are. So here's our source. We know that 3 of them are here under deployment. Exactly what our script is going to do. We did that manually in the previous video. So we copy that to the source. Why to the source? Well, because we know the scriptRoot is going to be where this file is. So it's going to be able to find these files. Then we have the exception site list here. Let's copy that one. So now our script says copy these 4 files. Well, they are here now. Perfect. So this should work now to copy. Then we need, you remember, we signed this one, deployment rule set jar with the certificate. So we need to add that to a store also. And we need then a self-signed set cert, which means we need to copy that one as well. And I see my script is missing that. No, we don't need to copy that. Sorry, all good. We just need to have this one in the scriptRoot. And we actually had that one under the JDK that we installed that we're going to uninstall because we're not going to need that. And that, for some reason, took a 64-bit version, JDK bin. So under here, we have the self-signed. We can take both files. We should only need this one, but they sort of belong together. Now I have a lot of File Explorer, a bit messy, like always in my videos. So now we have self-signed this certificate that we created, and this certificate signed this one. But since this is a self-signed certificate, no one trusts it. But we fix that in this line here. So we take, first we start the process, we start cert util. Then we send some arguments to that. We add the store to root. What should we add? Well, the self-signed cert. Where is it? Well, scriptRoot, same path as this file. So I think we have it good. This script, we can save it. So let's uninstall everything. Let's revert everything we have done in order to be sure that it works. So that means, pretty much, that means that if we go to security, we should delete the sun. I select that one and delete. It's not gonna like it. Okay, sun is gone. The sun is gone. No, don't worry, just the folder. Add remove program. Let's uninstall Oracle Java here. And we also had the certificate that we added. So we have to revert everything we have done in order to have more clean. Let's do a cert, the machine computer certificate. And there we will find under Trusted Root Certificate Authority. Let's see, you want to close something. Oh, you want to close Teams and everything. Sure, let's, that's fine. Notepad, I find that strange. They want that closed, but okay. Don't need that. And you want to close OneDrive. Totally fine by me also. I don't need OneDrive for this. I don't see the link, but if it doesn't want it, sure, close OneDrive. Now retry. Where were we? We were to remove our GBN self-sign. So I delete this one, so we don't trust this certificate anymore. I keep this one open because we're probably going to go back here. So after we're going to run our script, okay, Teams is still started. I didn't really quit it, I guess. Retry. Teams and Java have nothing. They are not sharing anything, so very strange you want that closed. But or understand it would like my browser closed, because that could hold up Java. Okay, this one is not a real Java. It has some tools. This is the development kit, JDK. So we have no Java, and well, we can see that. We still have our settings, so it should still say that it's an IE. That come from our first video. But it should not be, you should see a happy face. There's no Java at all here. Okay, let's run our script. So we can do it in phases. That makes more sense. So let's start to run this part. This should just install Oracle Java. Let's run this with winget. So here comes by winget, we got it. So that worked good. Well, starting install, right? It looks like it's more or less already installed. Okay, I did a little mistake there. I selected this, I should have clicked here. I run everything. So we have run virtually everything. We have copied all the files. So if we go back here now and look under Windows, our friend the sun is up again. Of course, we close the cloud. Java deployment, we have our 3 files. We have, you remember, our config files is pointing to the property. The property is pointing to the security file. We have the exception site. The deployment rule set jar is the one who allow it to run. So if we now open and run the Java test page, we should see the happy face with no pop-ups or anything. Yes, we are loading Java in Edge through IE mode. So our package is working. There's a bit more to it. So let's package this. Let's see what we have. We have in our source file, we have everything we need in our source file. So we need to make this to an Intune Win file. How do we do that? Well, with help of Intune Winup utility. I'm going to run it from command line. I clear the screen first. Go, was it Intune packages? Yes. Oracle? Yes. So if I do a dir here, I have all my stuff. Okay. Then we do run Intune Winup util. It's going to ask for 4 things. First, it wants the source. I'm going to right click, copy as path. I think on Windows 10 you need to shift right click. So we're going to paste the source folder in here. Then it wants the setup file. And, setup file in the source. And we can use this one. We could use the MSI also, but since I recommend not even have the MSI file here, it's going to make the package a lot bigger. Let's do this file. It doesn't really matter. This, if you specify an MSI file, it's going to fill in a lot for free for you. But if you put this, it's basically become the name of the package and it doesn't do anymore. Then the output folder, where do we want this to be outputted to? Well, to this folder here, the output folder. And it's just going to be one file, the Intune Win file. So put it here. The last question, always no. Catalog folder, it's only need for Windows S version, which is outdated. So now it's creating this file, and it would have been finished a lot quicker if it wasn't for the MSI file. So here, now we have the file. We need one more thing though, not in the source, but detection method. Why? Since we are always installing the latest, we can't do a detection method and saying, hey, look for Java update 361, which is the latest version now, because when Oracle update, it's not going to be the latest. So we need another script, but not in the source. So we are good there. We just need the detection script. And I have prepared one, and I'm going to walk it through. So I have that one here. So I'm going to steal this one, Control A, Control C, go back to PowerShell ISE, do a Control N for a new tab, and paste this one in here. I'm going to save it and then go through what it does. So we don't want it in the source because this is outside the source. Source, you only want what's going to be deployed to the client. This is for Intune to check. We can call this one detection method. Oracle Java latest. So this one will just check, do you have the latest? So we have the latest on this device, right? So let me run this one first and then explain it. So I'll run the script. And it says, the device got the latest version installed. Let's uninstall Java just to see that the script doesn't always say you have the latest. I'm going to uninstall this one again. Please see if I have to quit any other application. Because if you have the latest, the Win32 app will just say, okay, no ID to run this. And it also run the detection method also at the end to verify that it got installed if it's missing. So it run that script twice. Let's see. No, I'm not going to restart. I'm fine that it's just gone. So if we go back here and then run the script again, we're going to get another output. We actually got no output at all. And if you get no output at all, that means it's not installed. Just verify. Yep. So that means nothing, that it's not installed. So then it's going to run. I forgot to look that our certificate came back also. So let's do a refresh. when we rerun the script. So we should have our GBN soft here. Yep, it came back. I forgot why I had that one open. Can actually close it now. Focus on the script. So this is the detection script that Intune run before it even tried to run the Win32 app, just to see if it's already installed. We don't have to install again. And then it run this detection script at the end also to see, well, did it get installed? So same as before, hash marks are only comments who help us. The computer don't care about that. So we set location. We help system to find the location of winget. If you run winget here, it will find it. But when it run on the system, which Intune run, it don't find winget. I probably said it a million of times. And this is just to find winget, as I mentioned. Then we run GBN search. It's going to search for this and see what is the latest version online. Let me run only this part, not the... Let me clear here first. Clear host. Now it's empty. And actually, let's go back one so we can do CLS here also. So let's run only this part to see what that does. It's going to do one line. I'm actually running this part here. And now click on the right one. So it gives this output, and it saves this output here. These 3 lines get saved into this variable GBN search. Then we create a new variable who split this and takes -1. That's the last line. See if I can mark it. Yep, this line. And the second part of it, -2 from the right. So winget is the first, version is the second part. So this value here, 8.0.3610.9, gets saved into GBN online version. Perfect. Now we know what is the latest version online. Now we want to see what is actually installed locally. In this case, nothing should be installed, I think. Yeah, no installation package found. So in this case, since nothing is installed, and it's going to check here if the GBN local search, the one we got here, if the last line, -1, is equal to no installed package found, which it is exactly written here, then it's going to do what's written here, exit 1. If it exits with 1, the detection method had failed, but in a good way, because that means no Oracle Java is installed. That tells it, okay, run this to actually install Java. If it, for some reason, didn't fail here, and then it continue, it doesn't exit out. But if it is installed, we want to see if there's a newer version. So then we're going to run this command that actually lists what is installed. And we take that, we have that in GBN local search, and we check if that one have an available between version and source. That means it exists a newer one. If it doesn't, then we know that the installed one is the latest. And we save that value to GBN local version. So we just look. So if the local version that is installed is greater or equal to the one online, perfect. Then you got the latest version. Probably it's never going to be greater. And if that's not the case, then we know that the installation is not the latest. Then we want this to run also. So that's the detection method. Don't worry if you didn't understand. I hardly understand myself, even though I know how this works. But this one works. So now we have the detection script. We are good for uploading. So we have everything. Okay, so let's open a browser, not the Java one. Let's go to Intune, because we have everything, endpoint.microsoft.com. And I already logged into the browser, so it knows me. I go to apps. I have a lot of videos how to do this, so it will go a bit quick here. Apps. We're going to add, and since I didn't choose Windows, I'm going to get the big list, but we're going to do a Win32 app. We select. We're going to select our Intune Win file. And our Intune Win file if you remember, we created it directly on the C, Intune packages, Oracle Java, and we have that in the output. So here we have our file, got a bit bigger because we have the MSI in it, not needed. Excellent. So here, let's go Oracle Java 8, latest, x86. We could put something funny here, but let's do Oracle Java, always the latest, with rule set and exception sites to allow sites to run, whatever those sites are that we specified. Publisher name, Oracle. App version, latest. Category, let's call that productivity. And we will not feature this one. Notes, I put my name, John Bryntze. I put today's date, March 2023. Always a second capital. Here we need the logo that we took. Select the image, browse. We don't want that in the output, not in the source. It's here. I like it. And we go next. Install command lines, gonna be PowerShell.exe set what I'm doing, execution policy, we put that bypass. File, what we're gonna run, well, we're gonna run whatever we have in the source. This one here, I do F2, Control A, Control C. Go back, I'll paste it there. We should have done an uninstall. Now we don't have any. It would be very simple. You just copy this script and instead of install, you put uninstall. I don't think that's important for this video. We want to run it as system. That's why we have to help it to find winget. Did I mention that? Restart, no specific application. We don't need to change any return codes. Requirements. Does it have to be 64-bit? Yes. Well, it should be. I mean, the software is 32-bit. And the latest, still no Windows 11 22H2 or anything. This is the bare minimum. You should put the size also, but I don't do it here. Detection method. So we're gonna, normally if you do manual, you can look for a file, registry, or MSI code. I'm not so big fan of MSI code, but use a custom detection script. We are forced to do that. Why? Because we don't know which version it is. So that's why our script is going to look for what is latest. And here we got our script. And you see this funny icon here. Those is because PowerShell ISE coded with UTF-8 BOM. So if we want to get rid of that, and I think we won't, you can just open the script in Notepad++. Are we there? Nope. Here, and the detection script. And you see encoding here, it says UTF-8 boom. Just change this to UTF-8. I'm going to save this one, go back and upload it again, and you see this character. For me, they are the Spanish character, are gone now. Run the script as a 32-bit process, no and no. So we keep the both no, we go next, we have no dependency, we have no supersedence. We are gonna assign, well, I think this, we're not gonna run this, but this would be a perfect one to put in company portal. So I add it to all users. Post notification, why not? And create. Finished. So if we look our apps, we now have Oracle Java. So now we have Oracle Java in company portal. So anyone can install it. They will get the latest Java out there with all our settings that make it possible to run. So long series. Could have done it a lot longer to go detail in package, but I have so much other videos about that. So if you're interested to know more about package, check out those. Thank you very much for following along. If you are using Oracle Java, I think this is extremely useful for you. If you aren't, congratulations to you. Thank you for following this video series. Have a good day.